The journey of change. In a small, peaceful village, there lived a girl named Aisha. Aisha loved her village. She loved the tall trees, the clear river, and the fields of flowers. But one day, everything changed. Aisha's father came home with sad news. "We must leave the village," he said. "We have to move to the city for work." Aisha felt a knot in her stomach. She didn't want to leave her home, her friends, and the places she loved. She looked around her cozy house, trying to remember every detail. She hugged her best friend, Sarah, and they both cried. The next morning, Aisha and her family packed their belongings into a big, old truck. As they drove away, Aisha looked back at her village. She saw the familiar sights getting smaller and smaller until they disappeared. She felt a tear roll down her cheek. The city was noisy and full of people. Tall buildings towered over the streets, and cars honked loudly. Aisha felt lost and overwhelmed. She missed the quiet of her village, the sounds of birds, and the smell of fresh flowers. The first day in their new home was tough. The apartment was small and didn't feel like home. Aisha's father tried to cheer her up. "This city has many opportunities," he said. "You will make new friends and have new adventures." Aisha started school in the city. The school was big, and she didn't know anyone. She felt shy and scared. During lunch, she sat alone, watching the other children play. She missed Sarah and her old friends. One day, a girl named Emma noticed Aisha sitting alone. Emma had a warm smile and kind eyes. She walked over to Aisha and said, "Hi, I'm Emma. Do you want to play with us?" Aisha felt a little better. "Yes, thank you," she said quietly. Emma introduced Aisha to her friends, and they played games together. Aisha started to feel less lonely. Weeks passed, and Aisha began to adjust to her new life. She explored the city with her family. They visited parks, museums, and the zoo. Aisha found that the city had its own kind of beauty. She started to enjoy the new experiences. One weekend, Aisha's father took the family to a large park at the edge of the city. It was filled with tall trees and colorful flowers. Aisha's eyes lit up. "This place reminds me of our village," she said with a smile. As they walked through the park, Aisha saw a community garden. People were planting flowers and vegetables. Aisha felt a spark of excitement. She loved gardening and missed her village's fields. Aisha asked if she could help in the garden. The gardener, Mrs. Green, welcomed her warmly. "Of course, dear. We always need more hands," she said. Aisha spent the afternoon planting flowers and talking with Mrs. Green. She felt happy and peaceful. Every weekend, Aisha went to the park to help in the garden. She made new friends and learned more about plants. The garden became her favorite place in the city. It reminded her of her old home and helped her feel connected to nature. One day, Aisha had an idea. She wanted to bring a piece of her village to the city. She talked to Mrs. Green and the other gardeners. "Can we plant a section of the garden with flowers from my village?" she asked. Mrs. Green loved the idea. "Let's do it," she said with a smile. Aisha's parents helped her find seeds from their village. They planted them in a special part of the garden. As the flowers grew, they brought a touch of Aisha's old home to her new one. The garden flourished, and people from all over the city came to see the beautiful flowers. Aisha felt proud and happy. She realized that she could keep the memories of her village alive in her heart and share them with others. As months passed, Aisha made many new friends and felt more at home in the city. She still missed her village, but she found joy in her new life. She learned that change can be difficult, but it can also bring new opportunities and happiness. Aisha's journey taught her that home is not just a place. It's the people we love and the memories we cherish. She learned to embrace change and find beauty wherever she was. And so, Aisha's story became a reminder that even when life changes, we can find new paths to happiness. The garden in the park continued to bloom, a symbol of Aisha's journey and the beauty of embracing new beginnings.